Did you do everything right and still feel broke? You studied hard, got good grades, followed the system, so why does money still feel like a constant struggle? Why do people with degrees end up stressed about bills, debt, and survival? Is the problem you or the system you trusted? What if the same habits that made you a top student are actually keeping you stuck financially? And what if you could use those exact skills to escape it? In this video, we're going to uncover the hidden degree trap and, more importantly, how to break out of it for good. You did everything they told you to do. You stayed up late cramming, you highlighted every textbook, and when that didn't work, you actually learned how to study like a top-tier student. You started using the Pomodoro technique, setting a timer for 25 minutes of pure, uninterrupted focus. You ditched passive rereading because science shows it only has a pathetic 10% retention rate. Instead, you started using active recall, forcing your brain to struggle and retrieve information like a samurai sharpening a sword. You used spaced repetition to completely hack the forgetting curve and lock information into your long-term memory. You essentially turned yourself into an academic weapon, got the flawless 4 gigapascals, walked across that stage, and got your degree. And your reward for all of that elite level discipline? You graduated into a financial system that is mathematically designed to keep you broke. Welcome to the degree trap. Let's talk about the dark punchline of the modern education system. You use all these elite habits to get a degree, assuming it's your golden ticket. But then you look at the actual numbers. The median weekly earnings for a full-time worker in the US is roughly $1,000, which comes out to about $52,000 a year before taxes. Even if you pair up with someone, the median household income is sitting around $84,000. Meanwhile, the real estate market has completely detached from reality. A basic laminate countertop starter home in a normal suburb now costs around $500,000. We are actively asking people making $84,000 a year to buy houses that cost 6 times their annual income. It is a mathematical fantasy, so you end up renting forever, or you stretch your budget so thin that you're spending 46% of your take-home pay just to keep a roof over your head. Add in your student loans, 2 car payments, and the fact that the average household is carrying over $9,000 in credit card debt at 20% interest, and suddenly, 2 incomes leave you broker than 1. You studied like a genius, only to become the quietly broke millennial. It is incredibly frustrating to play by the rules, work harder than everyone else, and still feel like you're drowning. If you're lying awake at 2 a.m. doing mental math on your grocery budget, I need you to hear this. It's not your fault. The economic landscape completely shifted while you were busy studying for finals. But here is the good news. The exact same elite study techniques that got you that degree can be used to break you out of this financial trap. We need to start with something Japanese top students use, rooted in Zen Buddhism, the empty cup mindset. There's a saying that you cannot pour tea into a cup that is already full. Top students don't study to prove how smart they are. They let go of their ego and study to discover what they don't know. You need to empty your cup when it comes to money. Forget the ego of your college degree. Forget trying to look fake rich to impress people on social media. Acknowledge that school taught you biology and history, but it taught you absolutely nothing about compound interest, investing, or avoiding debt. Once you drop the ego, it's time to apply the Kumon method to your bank account. In Japan, top students don't tackle learning in massive, overwhelming chunks. They break it down into bite-sized, daily lessons. They focus on a 1% continuous improvement, a philosophy known as Kaizen. Most people look at a financial goal like saving an emergency fund or buying a house and panic because the number is too big. They try to save aggressively for 2 months, burn out, and go right back to their old spending habits. Instead, use the Kumon method. Focus on small, consistent chunks. The most successful savers start ridiculously small, sometimes just $50 or $25 a month. You don't need to become a millionaire overnight. Your only goal right now is to build your first real safety net, your circuit breaker. Finally, we are going to use the Feynman technique. This is a method named after a Nobel physicist. And the rule is simple. If you can't explain a concept simply to a 5-year-old, you don't actually understand it well enough. I want you to sit down tonight and try to explain your own finances out loud. Explain your car loan interest rate, explain why you are carrying credit card debt, explain exactly where your paycheck went last month. When you get stuck, or when your explanation sounds ridiculous, like trying to justify paying a bank $1,800 a year in credit card interest just to buy things you don't need, that is your signal to fix it. Teaching it out loud forces your brain to organize the reality of your situation, taking you off autopilot. Your degree isn't worthless. It got your foot in the door and it proved you know how to work hard. But your degree will not save you. Financial literacy will. You already know how to learn. You already have the discipline. Now, it's just time to change the subject material. Stop studying just to be an employee and start studying how to actually keep the money you make. If this video hit a little close to home today, hit the like button and subscribe. Let's start building real wealth together, one small habit at a time. I'll see you in the next one.